Hi, this is Jessica DeMassa with WTF Health. I am here at Webbit in Sofia, Bulgaria, and joining me now I have Cristina De Juan. She's the founder of IMT Innovation, and she's doing some really unique things as far as helping people understand and make sense of the digital transformation of healthcare. So she's focused a lot on training and helping people through her Digital Health Academy and the Digital Health Innovation Hub that she's building in London. So what are the issues that people are having embracing the digital transformation of healthcare?
Yes. So hi, Jessica. Nice to meet you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. So I think there are no issues in adopting the new technologies per se. I think there is a problem of information on for people to know the tools that they can use. So this is just something that we're actively solving with the IMT Academy. So we are going to the different stakeholders within healthcare. So let's say pharma, regulators, or the healthcare system like the NHS, and we're training them in the new technologies, AI, VR, apps, and with the real examples of tools that can help them.
Okay.
So specifically, for instance, for the regulators, we will train them with the purpose of letting them know how safe, or for them to feel comfortable about the new technologies so that they are able to regulate. Or then within pharma, it's like you have these conditions you develop drugs for, you could be using these tools to actually help your patients or your healthcare professionals as well.
With these people that you're helping educate,
Yes.
we always talk about like the questions people are afraid to ask because
Yes.
they don't want to come off as being behind the times or
Yes.
looking dumb. So
Yes.
what kinds of questions are you getting asked? What are
Yes.
people wanting to know?
Yeah, so they want to know. That's a really good question, actually, because it's quite amazing to see how basic you have to start, which is understandable.
Yeah.
People have their careers, and they might not have a clue about how to build a website, simple, or about developers who write the code. So if you start from there, and then the questions are more about decision makers, who makes the decisions,
Okay.
right, of adopting those tools. So even within the organization, they will ask outside, is the NHS regulating this, or who are the big regulators? So it's also about the landscape. It's not always about the technologies. One of the modules is actually about the landscape.
That's really interesting to me
Yes.
because it's almost like,
Yes.
okay, yeah, I understand the tech part of it,
Yes.
and then it's like, how does it fit into the ecosystem as it exists right now?
Yes.
Do you think that people are generally very open? Yeah, do you do?
They love it.
You do.
People absolutely love it. Yes, and I think they're really open because people want to have their to be more efficient, and a lot of people in healthcare want to do better for their patients. So
You want me to walk by?
we even have a work. I know, I love this. So yeah, people absolutely love it because they want to help themselves and help others.
I think, the other thing I want to ask is are there any misconceptions that people have? Are people afraid of anything with the digital transformation? I mean, I hear a lot about you hear about people who are worried that they're going to lose their job. And so it's like,
Yes.
if like artificial intelligence is now kind of even been rebranded, augmented intelligence. It's like, no, nothing's
Yes.
replacing you. Are there any other misconceptions that you've come across in the work that you're doing?
Yes, so there are two misconceptions from my point of view. One of them is understanding that the new technologies or the technologies are tools for them to use. And the second misconception is how startups and new companies and small companies work.
Okay.
Is what we were discussing earlier about the risk of failure that big organizations or people have, in that kind of organizations don't understand that outside is very agile. But the same problem you get it in startups where, we'll just do this, we'll just do that. And it's like, no, because if we do this and it breaks and we do something wrong for this company is going to get in so much trouble.
Yeah.
So you as a startup, you also have to understand that you are dealing with healthcare, who deals with people's lives. They are extra careful. So it's education on both sides.
That's really well said, and I think a lot of times people forget that. It's like even just the fundamental mindset of like how people work.
Yes.
A startup versus a pharmaceutical company, or dealing with different regulations and things like that. Very different.
Yeah, I mean the timelines to get a contract with a pharma company can take you a year, and for a tech startup, they don't understand that it takes, but it actually does what it takes.
Well, their company might not be around for a year.
Precisely, and this is something that also pharma needs to understand. You have to be faster, but they can't be faster because you need 5 layers of approval to do anything. So that's just the way it is.
All right, so what can be done? Like, I mean, you're in a position where you understand both sides of it very well. So do you see a solution?
Yes, so there is the solution that I'm proposing. It's for us to innovate outside quicker because we know what we're doing. We deal with the startups. We also know how corporate works. So with the incubator, the idea is to develop these solutions for specific problems that the pharmaceutical company have, or not problems, or things to enhance their proposition to the healthcare world. Develop outside, mature a little bit outside, and then pass it on to them. So we are developing specific solutions for specific problems, and then we are de-risking them by not having to do it inside and failing inside, and then the whole department disappears.
Who covers the cost for that de-risking period then?
For that de-risk, so we do.
Okay.
Yes. Privately.
Privately, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that's cool. I'm curious about that because like
They are
that's
the
like
second part, the partnering and the acquisition, hopefully.
hopefully very cool. All right, now I want to just last words from you. I want to know what's going on in London. So you have your innovation hub in London that you've built. You've got the accelerator there, the Digital Health Academy that we've just been talking about, the education that's coming out of there. So give me a little bit of a scoop. Like give me, big macro level. What's happening in the healthcare startup scene in London?
Everything.
Like?
We are leading it.
In what way? Like what are you guys good at?
Everything.
Oh, come on, Christina, give me something here.
No,
I
so
mean,
we
people
really
talk
could,
about, like for example, people talk about, in Israel, them being very good at medical device. Is there a particular area of expertise that you see coming out of the healthcare scene in London?
Right now, there is a very, very strong growth, and because there is a very strong government backing on AI.
Okay.
This is it. So before we have a few VR companies, we have a lot of mobile apps, and we have success stories, Metapad and Babylon, and now suddenly the government is said we need to be the best on AI.
Okay.
And here is I don't know how many million or billion that they dedicated. So wait for the next couple of years, all of these AI-driven companies.
In a particular area, like about AI, I mean, because so in the U.S., one of the big things we always talk about is interoperability and making the EMR work more efficiently. Is there a certain area of focus of the AI coming out of?
Yeah, so we don't even have EMRs, so we couldn't fix that with that behind. So I think, the effort is a lot of on diagnostics and also on the emergency services.
Talk more about that.
So how do you triage people at the emergency room? You already have all the data, from all the past patients. So how do you make sure you can the machine can do the diagnosis and predict how that patient is going to develop? So then you give them the different urgency and you put them in the right department. So I think that's one example, things that we're going to see more of.
Awesome. Christina, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to talk to you and get your perspective. I love it. I'm Jessica DeMassa with WTF Health. Thanks so much for joining us here at Webbit.